Sorry, had to toss out the announcement. Hi, Bergwin. How are all the things? Hello, Blackfile. Just gonna check something real quick, don't mind me. Narset's gonna get in a last-minute donation towards Dungeon Siege 2. Fuzzy Duck's gonna get in a last-minute donation towards Dealer's Choice. We're here to make fun of BlizzCon, and hopefully get some good stuff. Like, that is always the ideal, right? The ideal is, oh my god, WoW Legion announcement, which is the last time BlizzCon really got me. It's actually part of public record. Anybody who saw anyone who saw it, either live, yes I did Dream Whisper Sting, StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty. I responded live, I'm guessing you weren't there or something.
Oh, it feels good to stretch out.
A good one. Remembers that when they announced Legion, I was extremely hyped. See you around, Gamester. Good luck in the interview. Not that you need it. You got this. So this is the worst way to do these quests, when you're immediately behind someone else who's tagging everything. Yes, I did, actually, Savacom. You want to hear the really sad part?
Some respect.
I figured out I could kind of invert the formula and do it in a completely different manner, which actually works better. But that will hopefully be useful. I didn't even test out your method, to be completely honest. I probably should to make sure it works, because that would be a useful thing for the future. I also need to make sure, one of the things I wasn't sure of is if OpenOffice allows for multiple thens in an if-then equation. Because the way it was being talked about in every help site I saw, even the actual programming help sites, was that there's if, then, else, and that's it. And it's not super useful if I only have two conditionals. Or rather, not two conditionals, two resultants.
Well, if it isn't my favorite mushroom.
Yeah, don't you guys have phones? The gals don't have phones, but the guys do. So, what am I doing? Someone name. Well, actually, hang on. Let's do Wrath first. Let's do Wrath first. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Hello, Baron? Oh. So yeah, they're about to start doing their pre-show, which I'm not going to actually stream because it's dumb. And it's always dumb. I'd rather just stream as we talk about BlizzCon. If that's cool with everyone. Honestly, I used to really get excited about BlizzCon every year. No, seriously, even as we made fun of stuff, and he was like, really? It was still it's something I was interested in, because of course it was, you know? There was usually at least one bit of good news. Not always. There were some BlizzCons where nothing happened. You know, where nothing was announced and nothing was presented. It's like, well, that's a waste of everything. And then there's BlizzCons where they apologize for siding with China in abusing human rights speech, and yeah, that's neat. Yeah, no, one of my bigger regrets in life... Let me rephrase that slightly. One of the regrets I have in life that I can't undo... There we go, that's a better way to put that. Because all my other regrets I have the possibility of fixing still. But one of my greater regrets that I can't fix is I can't go to BlizzCon. You're thinking, Lore, you could totally go to BlizzCon, like next year or whatever. No, because it wouldn't be BlizzCon anymore, would it? I mean, yeah, sure, it'll have the name. There might even be something interesting there. But yeah, the good BlizzCons, those are gone. And there's an exceptionally high chance they will never be back. And if they are, it'll probably be in the decade range from now. So, that ship has sailed. It's right up there with me not getting involved with Games Done Quick back when, you know, Games Done Quick was getting started, which I totally could have, if not for the fact that I was dying at the time. I like going to cons, but then again, I'm an extremely, you know, talkative, interactive, you know, like the crowds kind of a person, so probably the wrong person to ask. By the way, still the best mount in the game. Just saying. Her name is Vanquish. My niece named her, actually. Although, if, in the interest of honesty, my niece picked from a selection of names, and she decided Vanquish sounded the best. I used to be playing WoW with my niece. And every time, she'd be like, wait, can I say hi to Vanquish? And I'd pop on Vanquish and be like, oh, do I have the Teldrassil hippogriff? That's a good question. Right, I wouldn't know it on this side, because it doesn't show the Alliance ones. I think I have that one. That's exactly my point, Maz. I look at someone like Spike Vegeta, who is, you know, iconic when it comes to GDQ, and I think that literally could have been me if I'd gotten in there at the front door. You know, it sounds so pathetic to say, but I have very few regrets in my life. And that's 2 of them that I just shared. 2 things that I will never be able to undo. Thank you, Arathrobo. As always. I have put that towards Gothic 1. Can I forget if this bug still exists. Nope. They fixed it.
Inquiring minds just got to know.
Now, they actually rejiggered with this one encounter. Every other encounter is pretty much what it should be, but this one encounter, it's actually still better to do it as intended, instead of just walking up there. As intended, we shall be.
Okay, let's move out. Get into your
I'm surprised no one's asked the question already. But for anybody curious of the question, we're not restreaming the whole of BlizzCon. It's 2 frickin' days. We're going to restream the opening ceremony, and then talk about whatever they announce, because they almost always do the big announcements during the opening ceremony, and then they discuss like details and specifics in the actual panels afterwards. And then I'm going to go right back to working on Princess Mononoke. I know you can't see it, but I got about half a page of notes already. I'm sure I'm going to be flayed alive because you all have asked me to talk about one of the most beloved, well-known, and popular animated films of all time.
The Iron Dwarfs have been seen.
Also, the second highest selling animated film, not counting CGI, of all time. Because, of course, I look at the financial side of things. Why wouldn't I? No, Linnea. I got work to do. I might glance at it later. And as usual, I will try very hard. The highest is Spirited Away, S.A. Ross. Just funny, because that film, if you suggested that one, I would say no. Just straight up no. No. Whoops. Pay attention more. Why is that? I don't know how to answer that. No. That's my answer. No. Truth be told, Mononoke was actually suggested last year, and I vetoed it. And this year, it was nominated again, and I felt bad. And that's the honest-to-God reason. I just felt bad about vetoing it, so I was like, fine. About 24 minutes. I could just remove WoW here for a second. Oh, it doesn't actually show the timer there. Well, whatever. It's there in the background for when it starts up. I'm ready to go. I have it muted, because you know, they got their own music playing. I don't understand the question, Lunaruth, to be completely honest with you. But that's okay. Like, you're asking me to explain why it is I don't like coffee. And it's like, because I don't like the taste of it? I don't know how to answer that question.
In a few moments, we'll be dropping into... What's that? Be careful, something's headed your way! Quickly! Evasive action! Evasive action!
You are not alone in that, Larian.
Hostile entities detected. Threat assessment protocol active.
It is an anime.
Engaged.
It is, as I said earlier, considered to be one of the greatest animated films ever made, critically and financially. It was supposed to be Miyazaki's last animated work, and then he kept working.
Leviathan unit shutting down.
Which may sound familiar. Anyways, do I still play WoW? Except FM Nito probably already left. Yes, obviously, since I have a level 60 character who, you know, is decently geared and has already done... I guess you can't see the fact that I've done the raids. Can I show that off somehow? Yeah, there you go. Castle not through. There you go. Boom. You can also see the fact that I don't even have a campaign quest right now, which would also indicate that I am done with the Covenant arc. I suppose I could also pull up this button, which could indicate where we're at with that.
New toys? You are bad! Surprise! I won't break them this time! Bad!
Advice for cons. Wash your hands regularly. That is the best advice for cons I have ever received and given. I used to go to conventions when my immune system was a lot more damaged. Because, you know, the whole dying thing I just referenced. And I still never got sick at conventions because... viscerally, this is still my favorite boss in here. Maybe second favorite. What? There we go. That was weird. I don't think I've had that happen before.
Master shall thank God!
Oh yes, whatever your costume is, make sure you can go to the bathroom in it. Think about really, a better piece of advice there would be think about the practicality of your costume. I'm not saying don't costume. I'm saying just think about the everyday. Think about eating. Think about walking for long periods of times. Think about going to the bathroom. Think about heat and or cold and or sweat and or chafing. And all the little mundane stuff that you probably don't think about all that much in everyday life. One thing I've seen a lot of people do at Gen Con specifically is they will go and they'll only actually get in the really big costumes right before the actual contest.
For this trespass.
So, you know, there was a gentleman, I believe I showed this during one of my Gen Con videos. Oh, sorry, let's just hit the sound off so that I don't kill your eardrums. There we go. She's loud when she dies. Anyways, he was in what is effectively a full tilt Space Marine outfit. I forget the chapter. And yeah, he put it on right before the contest and was just hanging out back there and letting people take pictures of, including me, although I was video camera, but still, same thing. Yeah, you ever wondered how to voice act screaming? Here you go.
Interlopers, you mortals who dare to interfere with my sport will pay. Wait,
What predictions? That's a good question.
I remember you.
So, what predictions do we have for BlizzCon? I'm predicting they're going to talk about the upcoming patch, Chains of whatever it is.
Lord.
Shut up. They're going to talk about the upcoming patch, and they're probably going to talk about WoW Classic BC, if I were to guess. Both of those I would say are gimmies, though. Past that, I wouldn't know, which would bring me to my second question. But before we move on to the second question, what are your predictos? What is your all's predictos? There's no leaks. What are you talking about? There's definitely no leaks about WoW Classic, or excuse me, WoW BC Classic. And Chains of whatever it's called. I already don't remember, I'm sorry. I would be astonished if there was not Diablo Immortal news, though. Really. Now there's an interesting question. What would be a good mobile game? I can't check that donation right now, Mr. Red, so thank you. Very, very much. Always appreciate. I mean, I could check. It is within the realm of possibility, but I'd rather not. If you happen to know what you want to put that towards, you could tell me right now in chat, and I could be like, whoosh, I could be like, and it'll be done. Where'd she go? Where is she? There she is. So, in addendum to predictions, let's go ahead and shuffle on to the second and most obvious backup question. Hopefuls. Actually, I like to call this floors and ceilings. Dead Rising. Is that 1 or 2? I don't actually remember. But either way, I'll put it towards Dead Rising. So, floors and ceilings. The floor is the thing that would just make you go, and it's important to get the emotional impact here. The floor would make you go, ugh, really? That's your thing? That's your announcement? So that's the floor, right? The ceiling is the thing that would make you, oh my god, that's so awesome! And just really make you excited and happy and generally in good spirits. So what will be your floor and your ceiling for BlizzCon in about 15 minutes here? By the way, best class in the game, I'm just saying. Objectively! No, the floor would be no news! Oh, Lord. I've only had a beard for about 3 months, Rakatoon, but thank you for confirming how often you watch me. It's okay, I won't have a beard for any of the YouTube stuff for the coming year. With one exception. Floor, Burning Crusade Classic. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed at this point. I'm pretty sure they'd have to go below that for me. Let's see. So, floor for me. Honestly, if every single one of their properties focused on mobage, not mobile games. Mobile games that are good is at least a possibility. No, Mr. Red. But mobage. Like, if they actually had straight up mobage for StarCraft, for Warcraft, for the other titles that I kind of care about, that would be the floor for me. Yeah, StarCraft Rivals, or like, you know that Warcraft A New Empire. You know, that bog standard strategy game that everyone did, including FF15. Just, ugh. Now, ceiling. What would actually get me legitimately excited about BlizzCon at this point? It's difficult to even actually call myself a Blizzard fan at this point. I still enjoy quite a few of their older titles, as is obvious by the game I'm playing right now, but, I mean, I don't know. A proper remake of StarCraft 1? No. I mean, yes, but that's still not the ceiling. I could go above that. A StarCraft city builder game, like I've envisioned for some time now, that would be even better. And will never, ever, ever happen. But I got another one. Imagine, if you will, for just a moment, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, or at least just 1 and 2, proper remakes, In StarCraft 2. In the engine and style of StarCraft 2. That might actually be the ceiling for me. That's on your end, or more likely Twitch's end, Inquisitor Cero. They're inconsistent about that, have been for years. Try to walk away. So, real quick. Does anyone in chat think it's going to drop? This is one of the last raid mounts I don't have. And I kind of stopped doing this regularly, but I have periodically been hitting this for years. And I've never even seen it drop, unlike some of them. I'm missing this one. I'm missing one of the drops in... oh god, I can't think of the name of the raid right now. Dragon Soul. I'm missing one of the Dragon Soul drops. And I think that's it, except for, like, the rare Legion drops, which I haven't even actually farmed yet. So, of the drops that I have made the attempt to get, I haven't gotten this one, and I haven't gotten one of the Dragon Soul ones. And I do stress one of the Dragon Soul ones. You see this sucker? It's actually dropped just a couple weeks ago. Experiment 12B. I didn't even notice. No opinion, Pika! I don't have an opinion. I really don't. I will allow it to be streamed. It's as good as it gets. Boop. Nope. Well, that's what we were just discussing. Our floors and our ceilings, we big dog. And our predictions. So predictions, floors, and ceilings. Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure they will do Nehruth. They kind of had the perfect opportunity to do so, and then they ignored it for 2 expansions. I mean, I know the old joke is that Blizzard just sits on story arcs for forever, but yikes. Usually it's not, there's a giant sword in the frickin' Silithus, you know? So I mentioned that the earlier dude, Kolgarn, was my... I can't believe I remember these names. Kolgarn was my second favorite visceral boss in this dungeon. This is my favorite boss, viscerally, in this dungeon. Actually, my favorite boss in general in this dungeon. This is an extremely well-designed fight. Especially with all 4 keepers, which is what we're doing right now. Whatever, I'll just live with it. This is brilliant to do as a demon hunter. Hey, Cord. Oh my god, Cord, really. Overwatch 2 might come out next year. Alright, this is it. Moment of truth, and it doesn't drop. Alright, so. Someone name a BC raid. We got like 10 minutes left. As I double check the loot. Karazhan? Really? Alright. I ain't here to judge. Let's do this route. Black Temple actually isn't the final one. That would be Sunwell. I don't think I can do Karazhan in 10 minutes. In fact, I know I can't. Because of chess, if nothing else. I guess, Pika. We'll see. I'm curious how it's going to review. I'm more curious than excited, though. I don't get excited about things anymore. Life is pain. Hey, Javan. I don't remember where that portal is anymore. It just occurred to me. Might be down. You know, it's funny. I made the statement, and I repeated it many times, that Overwatch was a good beta of a game. You know, the good beginnings of a game. And I sort of said that with the assumption that at some point they would make an actual game based on the bones that is Overwatch. And then they didn't for years. So it's hard to be excited about Overwatch. I will freely admit that, at least at this point, for me. I believe so, Trihexia. In fact, I'm pretty sure I even talked about it, referenced it, and also tied it into the main narrative and pointed out how it doesn't fix, and actually gave a negative for it while we're on the subject. Yeah, it's not here anymore. Where the hell did the portal to the dark portal go? I actually don't remember. There used to be one in the pits, then they moved it, and I thought they moved it out into the portal hub, but they didn't. I haven't used that portal in quite some time. Well, now we got 6 minutes, so there's no way in hell we're doing it. Oh, down. Nope, they moved it, Bragwin. What do I think of Shadowlands? It's the best expansion they've had since Legion. New IP? I somewhat doubt it. Hang on. What's going on back here? I don't see a pre-show. I believe you. Maybe I secretly don't believe you. It's okay, I might actually reach Karazhan before it starts. Oh geez, I don't know, Cord. I can't answer you. I'm sorry. My brain is filled with Mononoke right now. As soon as we finish this stream, I'm going to chop off and go right back to working on Mononoke. So I can't change gears in my brain that sufficiently. You're asking me to think, and I'm like, I'm already thinking about other stuff. No, I haven't recorded. The film's 2 goddamn hours long. Apparently, Miyazaki actually apologized for the length of the film, but said he doesn't, you know, he stands to it and he doesn't feel bad about it. He's just, you know, it's a long film. Throughout conventions of typical filmmaking, I believe was the quote. Yeah, it's, of course I can't tell here. About 2 hours and 10 minutes, give or take. Ignore Mononoke in the background there. Yeah, Mononoke will come out the July 9th. It'll be the odd one out. Who knows, Midnight Fox? Who cares at this point? I'm not... I know it's very popular, Trihexia. Oh yeah, let me get out my phone here. There we go. Well, my phone tells me that Diablo Immortal is still in beta. 3 minutes. What forward am I looking forward to the most? The Pixar block. I pushed forward for a reason. If I can't pick the Pixar block, I don't know. I guess Back to the Future too. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, that's funny. No, it's not on the website yet. I haven't scheduled any of it except for Mononoke. That's, as usual, not my decisions, Octaft. I don't really meme it. It really was a bad statement. It really wasn't indicative of the mentality of the people who are actually working at Blizzard at this point in time. Rakatoon. So, forgive me. But, screw 'em, you know? I mean... Oh. Is that it? No, that's not it. Now, they did something much worse than that. Which is also something I'm not letting go of. But shrug. And yes, I am a beautiful butterfly. Hello, Zalok. So it's supposed to start in a minute, so I suppose this is a good time as any to go ahead and just stop playing WoW. Get the music going. I guess you're right, it is more of a moth than a butterfly, my bad. I'm gonna miss everything, Mr. Red, you kidding me? This next month is gonna suck. I am not looking forward to it. No offense. It's like sitting at and staring at a gap in a wall, and you have a bunch of asphalt and whatever it's called, the brick and mortar next to you, and it's like, well, come on. Let's see if it's over here. A minute and 40. There you go. Minute 40. Who the hell is this? That doesn't matter. I know it's the Hodor guy. I just... That's the... Never mind. Watching the timer at this point. This is muted, by the way. What you're listening to is actually this, not this. May have to resize, depending on what they do here. I'll give it 10 seconds. If it doesn't update in 10 seconds, then we'll start resizing. Quick refresh. So they're doing the opening crawl. That's it. Alright, whatever. Switch audio.
I play video games because I love stories.
Experiencing worlds that you can't experience as yourself. I guess video games allow me to be what I can't. It's fiction, but it's not.
And come home, log onto your PC, and disappear into a different world.
I am a part of something bigger, a part of something beautiful.
As an autistic person, video games give me a place where I could be in a world that...
Look, I'm pro video game too, but honestly, can we stop being self-congratulatory in each one of these things you always do? Sorry.
저는 제 와이프랑 게임을 가장 많이 해요.
I'm really enjoying playing video games with my dad.
My children.
My little sister. That connection between video games, allowing us to converse with each other, added a lot to our relationship.
Games like the World of Warcraft let me meet people that I probably never would have.
I can honestly say I met some of my best friends through playing games.
We have this connection that allows us to share our joys, to share our achievements, to share our growth together.
Every time I'm able to achieve something, I'm able to make myself proud.
Killing heroic Blackhand back in Warlords of Draenor was one of my favorite memories.
In the actual Twitch chat, there's people saying free Hong Kong. Speaking of which, free Hong Kong.
I was able to hit gold in competitive in Overwatch.
I had someone say, oh, I can't lose to a girl. And I beat that guy.
So I was able to slay this warlock as a little
it doesn't matter, Aspers.
Freaking out and screaming the whole time.
Adrenaline through my body was going crazy.
Pela caminhada ter sido tão prazerosa e pela conquista ter vindo.
A gente se sentiu muito, caramba, a gente conseguiu algo incrível aqui.
I killed the Witch King! I killed the Witch King!
当我夺冠的时候，现场的女性工作人员，包括有些男的工作人员，他们都哭了。
Many years ago, I was doing a quest in Terracar Forest, and a lovely little mage came up and said, "Would you like a hand?" They helped me for the rest of the day. We've been married now for over a decade.
Those video games filled a void. They filled the friendships that I didn't have. There isn't a huge LGBTQIA+ community in my city. So when I was able to play a video game, I was able to start talking with people who didn't really care that I was a gay male.
But video games were my escape. When I was a teenager, my dad was diagnosed with ALS, and I looked to video games as a way to escape from that sort of reality. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm just glad video games were there for me.
I'll never stop playing video games.
There's no way.
I imagine myself one day being an 80-year-old grandpa gamer.
Playing video games has shaped me. I don't think I would be who I am today.
My passion, my interest, my excitement, they belong.
Video games opened for me the world.
And because of that, I'm
I wish I had that hair, though. I'll admit that.
I can't wait to see what the next generation holds.
We could split it, Lunaruth. I'll get the hair, you get the face. Deal? Blizzard is a corporation. Sorry.
Welcome to BlizzCon Line, a celebration of 30 years of Blizzard communities and 30 years of Blizzard games. 30 years is so many years, and last year maybe felt like one of the longest of all. But throughout the years of Blizzard Entertainment, from 1991 to today, many of us can associate certain games with milestones in our lives.
I love how Illidan is the face of Hearthstone, by the way.
The first time you played The Lost Vikings. Or in high school, when you first played a Diablo game. Or maybe you met your partner while you were playing World of Warcraft.
Sorry, I'm
That's
single.
The awesome thing about video games. They give us experiences that are relevant to the times in our lives and experiences that we carry forward with us. Games are here for us during good times, and they're here for us even when we feel alone or maybe uncertain. Games are coming home, familiar, comfortable, with a connection and a sense of belonging.
You like nostalgia,
while
right?
Many of us spent most of 2020
We here at Blizzard
in our actual
believe
real-life home.
in nostalgia.
Games became even more more of a place to get away, to be free from outside concerns, even if just for a little while. So, this is pretty weird. Usually, when we start BlizzCon, the opening call is to my favorite Warcraft faction, the Alliance. Or my favorite faction, the Horde. I get confused. Usually, I'd be speaking to 40,000 of you in person at the Anaheim Convention Center, and millions of you around the world. And usually, that would be a perfect way to celebrate. But nothing about the last year has been usual. The pandemic has been hard on everyone, and for many different reasons. But if there's one thing that the last year has taught us, it's that being apart physically doesn't stop us from moving forward. It doesn't stop us from connecting with our player friends around the world, diving in as warriors and heroes, and checking on each other as humans. It doesn't stop us from sharing our latest epic gaming story or celebrating those of others. Games continue to unite us. Now, to be honest, I wasn't sure how well Blizzard could work from home. There are thousands of people, all needing to work together in creating our universes, games, and experiences. Never has it felt more true that it takes a Blizzard to make a Blizzard game. And in 2020, it became clear that the magic of creating at Blizzard isn't just tied to a physical location. It's tied to the people who work there. And I continue to be so proud of each and every one.
I'm sorry, speaking as an IT professional, welcome to 20 years ago.
Create these games and pour all of our energy and heart into
We have been pushing the idea of being able to do most of our jobs, not all, but most of our jobs from home, for decades. And you kept pushing back over and over and over. No. Oh, there's a pandemic. Yeah, go ahead and do your job at home. And now so many different companies are like, yes, we are doing so much good work from home.
Shimada,
Come on.
of Sanctuary, and of the Storm.
Some cool cosplay, though.
These next few days are for you, our Blizzard community. For World of Warcraft, we'll be showing you what's next for both Shadowlands and Classic. I'm sure you're all burning in anticipation for that.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. BC.
Hearthstone is getting back to its roots in a major way. We can't wait to show you how. We also have news for our Diablo community. Some of you were able to dip your toes into the depths of hell in the Diablo Immortal Technical Alpha. I really enjoyed seeing players embrace the multiplayer aspect of meeting in town. We can't wait for more of you to get your hands on it. So,
What?
It's only the beginning of the year.
Of all things to point out, what?
So much to look forward to, even though we can't yet be together in person. The Overwatch League will be kicking things off in spring, and we'll be watching closely to see if the San Francisco Shock can continue their championship run. World of Warcraft.
I'm sorry. So while he's talking about esports, when you're constructing corporate speeches like this, which is, I've talked before, I've studied this. It's very similar to lawyer speak. You try to hit certain beats and you pull out like certain bullet points which you address as you're going through, which he's been doing this whole time. But the only bullet point he pulled out for Diablo Immortal was meeting in town, the multiplayer of meeting in town. And I'm just,
Hearthstone Masters Tour.
why is that the thing that someone somewhere decided to write down as the line for that part of the speech? It almost feels like a bug. Or not a bug.
One last time.
Someone's screw up, you know?
When times were a little simpler. In the early 1990s, the internet was a baby. CD sales had finally eclipsed cassette tapes. Cassette tape, it's a rectangle piece of plastic, and there's a tape inside.
I used to use floppies, you jackass.
Put it on, and sometimes you needed a pencil to wind it and make it tight. I know, it sounds crazy. we were all playing video games on Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, DOS, or Mac PCs. I personally was a master of config sys and autoexec bat. So many simple things in simple times. If only we could relive them.
The stage is set. The green flag drops. Let the carnage begin. Holy Toledo! What a...
Blackthorn is a good game. I will stand by that for some time. I actually hope to review it someday. The other two...
Now we're talking.
Rewind! Save stating! You know, all the stuff that people have... I'm sorry, moving on. It's good. It's good they're introducing it. That is a good thing. This might legitimately be the best news of this whole convention, so I'm going to stop making fun of this. Depending on what it's on and how much it costs. Okay, so that's Switch, PS4, Xbone, and Battle.net. Not too shabby.
Blizzard Arcade Collection, featuring The Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn. These are ports of the games, just as you remember.
Those aren't ports, those are remasters.
Allowing you to relive the original
Or they're good ports, I suppose I
all
would
three
acquiesce the point.
titles in 13 different languages, with a couple of quality of life upgrades. As an example, we include very modern, cutting-edge functionality that wasn't available in the early 90s, both saving and loading of games. And for those of you who purchased any Blizzard Digital Anniversary Bundle via Battle.net, you'll automatically receive the Blizzard Arcade Collection on PC today. Now, you ready to hear about some other video games? Let's hear what's next for World of Warcraft.
Oh, sorry, let me move the chat.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. No matter where you are,
Okay, never mind.
World of Warcraft
Bring it back.
unites us all. Whether you're exploring the Shadowlands, Classic Azeroth, or another part of the Blizzard universe, I'm glad you could make it, because we've got a lot of good stuff to show you. But first, let's start with some Covenant pride. Kyrian, take flight. Nightfey, let the hunt begin.
That's me.
Necrolords, to war!
That's my second character.
Vinthir, let's party. The world has thrown a lot at us since the last BlizzCon, and the thing that's really kept everyone going on the WoW team has been connecting with all of you. The bonds we forge with our guilds and family and friends in WoW are powerful and real. As WoW enters its 16th year and Blizzard celebrates its 30th anniversary, we're so grateful to have the most dedicated and friendly communities in gaming. Let's recap the events in Azeroth. In WoW Classic, we fought an endless battle for South Shore and Tauren Mill. We banded together to open the gates of Ahn'Qiraj and joined forces to take down Kel'Thuzad in his floating citadel of Naxxramas. In Shadowlands, we helped our Covenant recover from the Anima drought, brought on by Sire Denethor,
Spoilers, by the way.
Master of the Vinthir, and traitor to the Pantheon of Death. We survived the halls of Torghast and crafted legendary gear in our efforts to expel Denathrius from his castle lair. But innocent souls are still wrongfully being sent to the Maw. They face an eternity of torment, and heroes like Anduin remain chained in its depths. The jailer continues to grow in power. He's preparing to break free from the Maw and complete his plan to unmake
the entire Warcraft universe. And Sylvanas, you may be wondering what she's been up to all this time.
Really not, if I'm being
We're
honest.
excited to unveil our first major content update for Shadowlands, Chains of Domination.
So this is the thing that was leaked. Whoops, wrong one.
Look around you!
What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Enough!
Also spoilers, by the way.
Or be made to serve.
Right now, you hold all the power. Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Despite all our efforts, the Maw
Timorous is still awesome.
continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could.
My Archon, a living soul, seeks an audience.
A mortal?
A king. By all our measures, one who has spent his life striving for justice. One who would give anything to serve his people. One whose heart is true.
Very well.
Well, shoot.
He may approach.
Even the cinematography is similar.
Step forward. My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come to Bastion?
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me. Just as you once sought to bind your own brother.
vessel performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then they will see. Death was never meant to be chained.
Alright, call me a weirdo. That was, as usual, very well done.
That is so intense.
Shut up.
I know you probably have a lot of questions about what you just saw, and what it means for the next stage of your Shadowlands journey. Later today, my teammates Ian and Jeremy will be telling you more about Chains of Domination in our Shadowlands update. Please check out the World of Warcraft channel to find out more. Next, I'm excited to share our upcoming World of Warcraft charity pet program. We've heard a lot from our community about how much they love these pets and the opportunity to give to a good cause, along with ideas to make the program even better. So during this upcoming campaign,
Infrequently,
you'll
Zygmus.
be able to donate
I am up to date,
whatever
though.
amount you wish to directly support our chosen charity. Once donations reach our goal, everyone
I should probably mention that I think it would actually be totally awesome and I'm unashamed in admitting that, if redeemed Arthas... sorry, let me walk that back. If the real Arthas ends up fighting Death Knight Anduin. But that's not Death Knight Anduin, though. That's literally just chained Anduin.
Bananas! Literally.
Like, they bothered to show that he's actively being mind-controlled, which is not what happened to Death Knight Arthas. Or the other Death Knights in general.
And if we reach our stretch goal, you'll also get Daisy the Sloth. She's an all-new pet who'll hang around your neck when you need a hug. Your donations during this campaign will go to support the medical humanitarian organization Doctors Without Borders.
Medicine Sans Frontières is awesome. I do support that.
Or MSF. They're an amazing group doing important work around the world. We're grateful to have such a generous community, and we hope you'll help.
I guess it might be closer to mind control, but given what we were showing, it could have been straight up possession. They do call him a vessel. And given how Warcraft magic rules usually work, if you're actually in something, you could do more than if you're controlling it remotely.
Now it's your turn. It's my pleasure to hand off to my teammate, Holly Longdale. She's a longtime WoW player, a veteran MMO developer, and she's going to tell us what's in store for WoW Classic.
I'm just going to stay quiet here, because I really don't care. I'm sorry. I'm in favor of preservation, but WoW BC is still there, you know?
Hi, everybody. First, I'd like to thank all of you who have ever been part of the WoW community over the years. You know, online worlds like WoW have been a huge part of our lives for decades now. As a dedicated MMO fan and a developer myself, I remember hearing that Blizzard was going to be making their own MMO. And I thought, well, I guess I'll check out that beta. And sure, we all call the game WoW. But really, wow. I could not believe I got bit by the MMO bug again. I was so excited to be able to make a Night Elf Hunter and be like that famous Dark Elf Ranger from the books that I loved. I have to tell you, Azeroth was, and still is, a place I love to live. Since last year, I've had the great honor to work alongside the WoW Classic team to bring these nostalgic experiences back to life for longtime fans and a whole new generation.
Yeah, you called it, Javan.
As a fan
They're totally hitting the nostalgia button today.
WoW. From the simple things like drive-by buffing or making friends on that long haul from Teldrassil.
I was a drive-by buffer, by the way. Used to carry around a ton of runes just so I could buff people on my mage.
Like when I jumped blindly through the Dark Portal and was running through Hellfire Peninsula, heard this terrifying noise.
The only one I physically own, Loner.
Bell Reaver. Biggest
see what that
roamer
is.
I had ever seen. And I'm very glad I had feigned death in that moment. And that's the thing about WoW. These stories and experiences we all share keep us coming back time after time.
Sorry for the noise.
With that said, I'm super excited to be able to share with you where our adventures are taking us next.
To BC! Looks like the arcade thing is not on the Switch store yet. I was curious. BC, aka when WoW actually got good. An opinion I stand by.
You dare enter my realm.
Not great, but it was the first time WoW was a good game, in my opinion. I still use a lot of armor and weapons from this expansion. Oh, the story was nuts. I had to come up with a whole term just to explain how messed up the story was in BC. Anyone remember it? It's funny, because the aesthetic of so much of the BC zones are great, but they're so low resolution that it's just kind of weird to go back to them nowadays. Bingo! Alzheimer's. Very good. That makes me smile that you remember that. There's some good boss fights in this expansion, too. I mean, I guess that's true for all of them. Even vanilla.
Choke on it.
Death to the outsiders!
I'll turn your world upside down.
You are not prepared.
Demon Lord Illidan. Like I said, I'm in favor of preservation and archiving, so I'm okay with this. But before you ask, no, I will never play it.
Brings back so many memories, right?
Just gonna lay that down hard.
Exploring the fungal forests of Zangarmarsh, or being awestruck at the chaotic magic alive in Netherstorm.
Or a bonus
The
job.
Draenei in Exodar, the Blood Elves in Silvermoon. I love playing them both. Do you choose to enlist the Aldor or the Scryers in your quest to fight the Legion? And of course, we can't forget gathering all your friends to fight Illidan at the top of the Black Temple.
And then the actual last raid, which was after that.
Since the team first set out on their own quest to bring the original WoW back to life, we have learned a ton about what players are expecting from this kind of experience. We've also learned when to keep things just as they were, and where we all might be open to some changes. We're bringing all these lessons into Burning Crusade Classic, with our primary goal to bring back the same feeling you had when you faced the Fel Reaver for the first time, or
I lag died and didn't even know what happened.
Of course, we can't get this right without you, our incredible community. Soon, you'll be able to revisit Outland yourself when beta starts and tell us what you think. Later, all WoW Classic players are going to be presented with a meaningful choice for each one of your beloved characters. Do you want to move on into Burning Crusade Classic? Or do you want to stay in the original Classic
I was curious about that.
forever? Whatever you decide, you can do it all with your one WoW subscription. Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you, but don't worry. We'll be getting into the details in our panel later today. So stick with us. We'll make sure you are prepared.
I agree, Java. That is smart.
Now, we're going to hear what's coming up in
There's a
Hearthstone.
logic to that. Hearthstone! Sweet! What? What?
Greetings. We're truly excited to share with you everything that's coming to Hearthstone this year.
Because the actual Hearthstone guy, who was awesome, by the way, quit!
We added our first...
And joined one of the new Blizzards. I can't remember the name of the company, but you know, the new Blizzard people.
Then we went to Skullman's Academy and got to explore dual-class cards and their powerful synergies. And with our
Is it
third
Dreamhaven?
expansion of the year, we brought you
There's like an umbrella company, and then there's several other companies under it. Hang on.
alongside the menacing old gods in Madness at the Dark Moon Fair. We launched a brand new game mode, Duels, that saw more than 10 million matches on its first day. We also introduced our long-awaited achievement system.
Okay, yeah, no, Dreamhaven is the umbrella. Yep, you're right.
To the rewards
You're
and
right.
progression within the game. Now, it's time to say farewell to the Year of the Phoenix and see what's in store for Hearthstone this year. Welcome to the Year of the Griffin. Over the last couple of years, we've made big changes to Hearthstone. Throughout the Year of the Griffin, we want to keep delivering fun, new experiences and make sure that the tens of millions of you playing Hearthstone are always excited to log in. First up, we'll be giving the standard format its biggest shakeup ever, with the launch of the Core Set later this year. The Core Set replaces the old Basic and Classic sets with a collection of 235 cards made up of some of the best from throughout the years, as well as 29 awesome...
Didn't MTG pull this trigger a few times over its history?
Is that it's entirely free.
Or am I misremembering?
There's never been a better time to get into
I
Hearthstone.
suppose I should have chat up for this,
Here
sorry.
are 3 of Hearthstone's legendary dragons, reimagined to feel more up-to-date and competitive for modern-day Hearthstone. Ysera the Dreamer. You'll finally receive her full arsenal of dream cards right away. She's a nightmare for your opponents.
Yeah, I was just trying to think when they started doing core in MTG, because it had to have been years and years and years ago.
And is a powerful late game play, worthy of the aspect of magic. And finally, everyone's favorite black dragon, Deathwing. He's still as destructive as ever, but timed correctly, he won't leave you empty-handed. We'll also be launching a brand new format, Classic, where you can play Hearthstone as it was when it first launched. The Classic
nostalgia
is fully supported, complete with ranks and rewards using Hearthstone's original set of cards. So, if you want to relive the old school experience, then Classic is the place for you. With Classic revisiting the past, now let's take a look to the future and explore the first expansion of the year of the Griffin.
Unlikely, Trihexia.
For a hero of the Horde, all roads lead to the crossroads.
That's why they call it that.
I've come for adventure. But the Barons wants to break you. Your axe must be sharp. Your wits must be keen. And your heart must be mighty. Strength and honor. This is who we are.
That's right. We're headed to one of Warcraft's most iconic locales, the Barrens, and we'll come face to face with the heroes that inhabit it, starting with one of the Horde's most iconic and well-known characters, a fierce loyalist, one-time war chief that embodies the honor, loyalty, and spirituality of the Horde, Shadowhunter Vol'jin. Shadowhunter Vol'jin is a neutral legendary that allows you to either bolster your own board or weaken that of your opponents. And to celebrate the announcement of Forged in the Barrens, this card is available for free for everyone later today. So log into Hearthstone and claim your free copy of Shadowhunter Vol'jin.
No, thank you.
And as a bonus, we're also giving away the brand new 30 Years of Blizzard card back. Next, we have another hero of the Horde who is making his first appearance in Hearthstone. The legendary Blademaster Samuro, featuring the new keyword Frenzy. Frenzy activates the first time a minion takes damage and survives. In Samuro's case, this can be used to clear your opponent's board. Heroes of the Horde, like Samuro, are famous for their combat prowess, but others, like Thrall, are known for their powerful elemental magic. Take a look at this new shaman spell, Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is a spell in a new cycle of cards that rank up and become more powerful when you have 5 and 10 mana, ensuring that they're always useful at every stage in the game. You'll also notice that they're categorized as nature spells. With Forged in the Barrens, we'll be permanently introducing spell schools across the entire game, which enables a whole host of exciting new strategies. And don't worry, members of the Alliance will be featuring some of your most beloved heroes and locales later this year. But what I love most about the Warcraft universe is its amazing characters. And our final announcement is our most ambitious addition to Hearthstone yet. It introduces a brand new way to play with your favorite heroes. Hearthstone Mercenaries. Mercenaries features strategic RPG gameplay, where you build teams consisting of some of the most iconic heroes and villains from the Warcraft universe, including timeless characters like the infamous Sylvanas Windrunner. And Ragnaros, the elemental lord of fire. You can also expect to see some of Hearthstone's fan favorites, like the unstoppable Devilsaur, King Crush, and the ever-growing Gruul the Dragon Slayer. You'll lead them in battle through highly replayable roguelike missions, where the map is randomly generated every time you play, and each node represents a unique challenge for your team to take on. Your heroes gain levels, new abilities, equipment, and can even evolve into more powerful versions of themselves. We're thrilled to finally show you Hearthstone Mercenaries. It is scheduled to launch later this year, and we'll have more to share with you down the road. Everything you've seen today is just a taste of what's coming in the Year of the Griffin.
Credit where credit is due, that actually sounds like a cool play mode.
Deep dive panel after the opening ceremony, where we'll share more.
I think their campaigns and their gimmick bosses were better in every way, but, you know.
And our plans for Battlegrounds.
You know, the things that they abandoned.
As well as our upcoming single-player content. I want to thank the team for their amazing work.
Still.
And on behalf of all of us at Hearthstone, we want to thank the many millions of you who play our game. Your dedication and support is what drives us to make awesome updates and pursue ambitious and fun ideas. We can't wait to kick off the Year of the Griffin with all of you, and we hope to see you in the game soon. Next up, you'll get an update on all things Diablo.
Okay. This should be interesting.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for joining us. I am so excited to kick off the Diablo segment of our show, and I am honored to be here on behalf of all of our Diablo teams to share the news and updates we have in store for you today.
We've got a lot of Diablo to cover, and I hope you'll agree with me that it's a great time to be a member of this community. All right, let's kick things off with Diablo 4. We first shared our game with you during Blizzcon of 2019, and we've been truly humbled by your response. We've kept in touch through quarterly updates and sincerely appreciate the thoughts and valuable feedback you've provided as we unveil more and more of the game and share in its development.
I have been told that they have been trying very hard to push the feedback button with this one.
Most recently, we teased an update to our campfire screen, and savvy fans, of course, understood that we meant more than just the character lighting and fire visual effects. That's right. Today, we're happy to announce a brave new soul joining the barbarian, the sorcerer, and the druid on this dangerous journey back to Sanctuary. A class is one of the most exciting things you can announce in a Diablo game. This one is especially exciting to me, as it's a re-envisioning of one of the first classes to ever appear in the series. Let's have a look.
The Murloc! Sorry. Yeah, quick, get your guesses in. What do you think?
There is justice within the light, but you have to be patient. Now, pray with me.
I would say Paladin or Amazon based. Even though we've actually had both.
Guide and protect me.
May he shepherd my soul.
May he shepherd my soul.
And grant it mercy.
And grant it mercy.
What are you doing?
Never mind, assassin.
This is not the time.
But this is confession. And I have sinned. I was a thief who stole from those more fortunate. I strayed from your light and found my trade in the shadows. They call it murder. I say, job well done. father. Will Akarat save me?
You mock our light. But those monsters were a scourge upon my flock. And you were the answer to their prayers.
Then we are settled. And you owe me.
The name you seek is... Thank the heavens for you.
Heavens? I assure you, Father, the heavens didn't send me.
It is a little Amazon-y playstyle. A bit. But you can see it's got the trap thing going on too, the trap assassin. Which is my friend's favorite way of playing D2, by the way.
The sound of that ear getting pierced by the hook is so brutal. I feel like it's gonna haunt me for a long time. I've been a huge fan of the Rogue ever since the original Diablo. Even seeing them come back as NPCs and mercenaries in Diablo 2's Rogue Encampment served as a great bridge between the games. With the setting of Diablo 4 being a larger world than we've ever played in before, we're excited to show you not just what the successors to the original rogues in the series have been up to since the fall of their order, but also what some of the other rogues in the world of Sanctuary might look like. The mantra for Diablo 4 has been customization first, and the Rogue takes this to a whole new level. From the beginning, the Rogue has been an incredibly flexible class, able to adapt to any situation. Our goal is to let you create the kind of rogue that you want to play. Whether it's an unrivaled archer modeled after the original Sisterhood, or a cloak and dagger rogue from the darkest alleys of Chaldeum, in Diablo 4, you will have the freedom to create the rogue that you imagine by customizing the looks, the background, and the playstyle of your character. Please stick around for our segment later today, where I'll be joined by other members of the Diablo 4 team to share a closer look at the Rogue class, as well as some of the open world gameplay that we're bringing to the game. Spoilers, those severed ears are not just for show. But Diablo 4 is not the only Diablo game we're talking about today.
Of course it isn't.
If you're looking for an authentic Diablo experience on mobile, we've got you covered. Diablo Immortal has everything you'd expect from a AAA action RPG. From the visceral combat and epic loot to an all-new story, bridging the gap between the events of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3.
I'm sorry. I've noticed lately quite a few mobile games have been calling their games AAA games. Like, that's been a recent marketing push I've noticed.
But that's still not all.
And that's what hit me there. It's just everything you'd expect from a AAA title, and I'm like,
about the classes, the items, or the stories of the early Diablo games you may have picked up.
Hang on, I need to order this game right now.
For that golden era of Diablo. Maybe you share that love of the classics, and just hearing us talk about them makes you want to take on Mephisto or Baal one more time, or maybe even for the first time. After all, some of our favorite moments happened a long time ago,
and not just in Sanctuary years? If so, we have a special surprise for you today. Let's check it out.
Whoop. Hang on. Diablo 2 audio. Diablo 2 remaster. The only question is it a port, a remaster like StarCraft, or a proper remake?
Lord of Terror.
That's the only question for me, really. Because D2 has aged pretty well, in my frank opinion. And I can play it right now without issue or incident.
Your greatest moments.
That looks like a remaster. In fact, that even looks kind of like the StarCraft remaster. Look at it. Yeah, that is a pity, but that is better than it could be, so... Middle of the ground. Hey, we figured out what cross saves are.
Not even death can save you from me.
Cool.
After more than 20 years, the Dark Wanderer has returned. And once again, he travels east. Always east. Diablo 2 is a landmark game for Blizzard.
You know what's funny is the Diablo 2 Classic run was funded just last week. Just finished funding.
And the expansion, Lord of Destruction. It takes the 2D sprite-based classic that we love and brings it into the present in 3D, utilizing up-to-date graphical rendering and lighting technologies. It also includes modernizing all 27 minutes of cinematics, recreated shot for shot with the explicit intention of preserving both the look and the pacing of the original movies. Blizzard has a long history of games that we're proud of. And when we think about Diablo 2, we think about it as a definitive pillar in our foundation. Now, it's funny to think that some of you weren't even born when D2 was released, which makes it all the more important that we deliver an authentic experience wherever you play. We want everyone to relive their memories or experience the game for the very first time on their platform of choice. And so we're excited to bring Diablo 2 Resurrected to PC and console, along with cross-progression. And for those of you who are in love with the original, and you just wish it worked more seamlessly on modern computers, you can bring back all of that nostalgia exactly as you remember.
D2 is before the gap. D2 plays just fine on modern games.
Much like we did with StarCraft Remastered. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Later today, Diablo speedrunner Mr. Llama will host a roundtable with members of the development team on the dedicated Diablo channel. If you are a Diablo 2 fan, I encourage you to take a look. So, from Diablo 2 Resurrected, to Burning Crusade Classic, to the Blizzard Arcade Collection, it's a whole lot of looking back. And while we have teams dedicated to bringing these timeless experiences into your hands, it's actually a very small percentage of our developers working on these projects.
I mean, the Diablo lore run wasn't even that long ago.
Are working on
That's exactly how well it plays on modern machines.
In addition to what we'll be talking
That's a good
about
lore run,
during
too.
the show,
I recommend it.
we can't wait to tell you even more about our plans over the course of this year and beyond. If you had asked us 30 years ago what gaming would look like today, None of us could have predicted the current Blizzard lineup of games. The advances in technology are one thing, but it's really what those advances have enabled that's even more incredible. If you think about the people who play games and the communities that have grown up around them.
Yeah, I think this is the closing. I think that's it.
No matter where they are in the world. The way people are increasingly able to express their identity and celebrate who they are through their favorite games, communities, and platforms. The explosion of things like streaming, cosplay.
Well, it's going to be going for the next 2 days, Savicon, but they front load all the announcements every year, so this is it for announcements. They'll do some specific things later.
What excites us about the next 30 years.
Star what, Magister?
There is so much that we're working on. And some of it you already know about.
Smarter people than me could explain it, said
I look
Slayer.
forward to talking to you about it when the time is right.
Like Javan might be able to explain the streamability gap better than me.
The worlds of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, and Hearthstone are diverse, expansive, and full of potential. We are not only iterating on the experiences that you've come to expect from us, we're also exploring different ways to express our worlds and welcome more players from more places into them.
Yeah, so they mentioned StarCraft once, and they mentioned Hero of the Storm once. It's okay, they're still there.
And toxicity control.
Totes.
And to continue supporting causes that have
The Imperium doesn't exist, Colin Peluso. The extant is my setting. That's the distinction.
same feelings of joy and achievement that we all felt when we first defeated the Lich.
I mean, the Legion launch, or the Legion announcement, probably wins that for me, Nerozaz.
Because when we geek out on those experiences with others, we can't help but see the similarities between us and feel what's possible when we play together. Of
So
course,
sometimes they leave...
there are new Blizzard worlds that we haven't visited quite yet. And when we do finally unveil those,
Sometimes they do one last announcement right at the end.
our hope is that you will see in them what we do. That no
You notice I
matter
hesitated in the middle of that in case he was doing it right here.
they are spaces where you can create new stories, forge new friendships, and make memories worthy of lasting a lifetime. And through it all, our mission statement of being dedicated to creating the most epic entertainment experiences ever, along with our core values, led by gameplay first, will continue to guide our way. So on behalf of everyone at Blizzard, thank you for being on this journey. For me personally, it is the honor of my professional life to serve you, and the honor of all of us at Blizzard to be the caretakers of the worlds that you play in. We are so excited for what's to come this year, next year, and the next 30 years. Now, what's coming next for the show? Well, it depends on where you watch. For those of you looking for an update on Overwatch, check out the behind-the-scenes look into the development of Overwatch 2 over on their dedicated channel right after the conclusion of opening ceremonies. There, you'll hear about Overwatch 2, new content, new features, including new maps, hero missions, talent trees, and more of what we think will make Overwatch 2 a unique gameplay experience. For World of Warcraft, Diablo, and Hearthstone...
No, I'm ready, Ivanux. I'm gonna chop it off as soon as he finishes talking.
And on the dedicated strategy channel, some StarCraft legends will be going head-to-head in epic competition.
There you go, 3 mentions.
Once again, welcome to Blizzcon Line. Be good to one another. Welcome home. Before we kick things off, here's a little something from a previous BlizzCon headliner.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for having us. We're Metallica. Thanks for having us at BlizzCon 2000.